Hello and welcome to what could be one of the shortest videos I ever do, because this week is like really chaotic, but in a good way. It's just going very quickly and I'm not having time to film clips. So hi, I'm Ashley Hannah, the Moody Reader. This week we are doing a vlog where I just film how much I realistically read in said week, because I don't know, I keep seeing people do this video and I'm like, how much do I actually read in a week without like trying too hard? And this is legitimately going to be like a realistic week because I don't have a lot of time for it this week. So yeah, that's the premise. I'm also adding in the element of mood reading because I was supposed to be reading The Ministry of Time by Kaliane Bradley and I can't be bothered. I'm not feeling it. It does not seem like a good time to me. So we're just gonna not. And I'm in general feeling very jaded towards current literature. That book was for a video talking about books that came out last year. And in that video, spoiler alert, I've hated 2 out of the 3. So I'm not feeling it. So instead, we're going to read Bleak House by Charlie Dickens. Yeah. I just felt like reading this one, and that's what a mood reader is. That you just feel like, I want to read a classic work of art. So I am. And I'm not actually having a tough time with it. Granted, I am doing a duo. I'm reading it and I'm listening to it because that's the only way to go if you're going to read a classic. Don't just listen to it. Don't just read it. Combine the two. Do both. And you'll be Einstein. I swear. I promise you. So this video will be all spoiler free, but basically this is a classic about a bunch of people who live in London, and it centers around this case, this court case, Jarndyce and Jarndyce, which apparently no one really knows what it's about. It's that old. People are like, oh yeah, Jarndyce and Jarndyce, but you can't actually say what it's about. You're like, oh yeah, I know about that, and you're like, but what is it? And I still don't know what it is. And I think I've met all the characters that are listed in the back of the book. Like, right now I'm in the perspective of Esther Summerson, and she is an orphan, and we don't know who her mom or dad was, and she has been summoned to, what's the place called? Chancery. And she meets these 2 cousins who are just meeting for the first time, named Ada and Richard. And basically I know nothing else but that, except for the fact that Charlie Dickens, he writes in a way that makes me giggle because his writing is very tongue-in-cheek. So it is going pretty fast, honestly. Today is Tuesday, so the first day I read, I want to say 60 something pages of this. And that's just because I legitimately had no time to read it because I was taking ballet class and then I had to teach for a few hours. So that's what I did yesterday. And then to do a little combo meal, I'm also rereading Divergent because I saw that I have the audiobook from Libby. So why not? Also, the Bleak House audiobook is also from Libby. I do not buy audiobooks. Don't buy them. It's a waste of money. So yeah, I saw it and I was like, ooh, that feels nostalgic. And it's so nostalgic. I love Divergent. Bring that back. Divergent got done dirty during the process. It had a movie, and I think that was its downfall. I think that it was, like I said, it was done dirty. And I also think it's hilarious that I read, I don't even know how many pages of Divergent yesterday, but I read it. And I feel like I'm in the 70s maybe. And it's just so funny reading it again after probably 10 plus years and seeing the YA-ness of it. And even comparing the book to the movie, because I did watch the movies a lot. And the fact that Christina is supposed to be taller than Tris. So I'm like, Shailene Woodley and Zoe Kravitz was a very bold move casting wise, but yeah. And if you don't know what that one's about, it's about a girl. It's about if Hogwarts houses got their own book. That's about it. Girl named Tris grows up in a family in abnegation, And in the society, there's these factions, and there's 5 of them. Abnegation, they're selfless. Erudite, they're smart. Candor, they tell the truth. Amity, they are nice. They're Hufflepuffs. And what's the Slytherin one? Dauntless. And in the society, you have to choose who you're going to be. You can only be one thing. You cannot be multifaceted. Not on their watch. And yeah, Triss, she's having to navigate choosing something different than her path of abnegation. And yeah, it's just a good time. Like, I love a dystopian. I keep saying this, bring dystopians back. So yeah, so what I did this morning was, while I was drinking my coffee and adding another row to my crochet project, which is a temperature blanket, which is going swimmingly. I love it. It's going to be so big, but it's going to be great. While I was doing that, I was listening to a little bit more Bleak House. And then I had to go and I was helping assist a masterclass. So I did that at a college. And then I went for a costume fitting for the show that we're doing later on this semester. And now I have a couple dead hours, so I'm going to go into Barnes & Noble and, whatchamacallit, what's her face? Samantha Shannon has a new book out, and it's called The Dark Mirror, and I need to buy it. I also need to reread the books 2 through 4. I only reread the first book, and I'm so pissed off with myself, but I wasn't feeling like reading it, so that's why I didn't. And yeah, we're gonna go inside and maybe cop a squat, read a little bit, buy the book, and then continue on our merry way. I don't know that this video has any sort of structure, but we'll see. We'll see. Hello pals, we are back. The music was intense in there. It really took me out of it, so I'm glad I did have the audio for Bleak House. I didn't take my copy in because, does anyone else feel this way? When you're in a bookstore, you can't bring your book in and then leave without buying something, because then won't everyone think that you stole it? That's a fear. I have a fear of being accused of stealing. So that was all to say that I did read some of Bleak House and listen, but not a lot because it was so loud. The music was popping. So I think I'm at, like, let's say, yeah, I got to page 100, let's say 111. So that's where we are with that. Honestly, that's a good chunk. Pretty good chunk, I'd say. And, oh my gosh, what's his name? I need to get his name right. Skimpole. Yeah, Harold Skimpole. He is quite the character. He just conned 2 people into paying his debts. So that, I guess that's great for him, but not for anybody else. And then I have been bamboozled into buying a book that wasn't on my list of books to get, but only because I can't find this one anywhere. It's not in my library system physically or electronically. So I picked up The Favorites by Layne Fargo because the Cutting Edge movies raised me. And that's it. This is about, like, a famous skating couple, fictional famous skating couple, and they had some drama. They went to the Olympics apparently, and they grew up together, had a little falling out, and I don't really know much more other than that. Their names are Katerina and Heath. That's something I do know. And oh my gosh, somebody's music was blaring and it was not very friendly words. Yeah, and apparently there's, like, a scandal in here. They're telling their story. Ooh, as the 10-year anniversary of their final skate approaches, an unauthorized documentary reignites the public fascination with Shaw and Rocha, claiming to uncover the real story through interviews with their closest friends and fiercest rivals. So this is like if you watched I, Tonya, or what's that other, or if you read Daisy Jones and the Six. But like, this is like Daisy Jones and the Six plus Carrie Soto is back. I feel like that's kind of the vibe. And honestly, it just seems like a very fun and interesting read. Hopefully it'll unjade me for current literature. Ooh, but it was blurbed by Holly Gramazio, and I didn't like the husbands. Ooh, it says part Wuthering Heights and part Daisy Jones and the Six. Wuthering Heights is not a lovely book to compare it to. But anyway, so yeah, I got that. That was not on the list of things to get, but I did get The Dark Mirror, which was on the list of things to get, and I'm excited, but I'm also scared because I don't remember what happened in the fourth book. For that matter, second or third books of this series. All I know is that, oh, that's cute. A little mask in the middle. Little mask. All I do know is that Paige and Warden are my loves of my life. So, yeah, we'll see. I do remember that the fourth book ends on a very severe cliffhanger. So, hopefully if I do end up rereading the second through the fourth books, I'll get to this kind of soon. And yeah, that's my haul. I'm gonna go give one of my family members a ride home, and yeah, we'll just continue the day. Oh my goodness, it feels like spring. Okay, so it's the next day, and ooh, I don't know how much I read yesterday, so I can't even tell you. I can't even put up on the screen how much I read because I really don't know. But I know that this morning I've been reading a little bit more of Bleak House, and I think I'm at chapter 9-ish, like 120-ish pages in. So it's going well. And I can say that my reading has been a little manic, so we're just bumping around everywhere. So right now I'm really interested in the favorites. So that's what we're reading right now. I'm 41 pages in. Honestly, if I had to guess what I was going to do for the rest of the day, it will probably be reading the favorites, because I don't know, it's just like dramatic enough, and kind of, the drama is so bad that it's good. Imagine this is good, this is bad. It's gotten so bad that it's going around to good again, you know? And that's what I think this is, because it's not anything special in that it doesn't like make me think, and I don't think I'm going to be highlighting anything, but it's just interesting. It's entertaining. And that's what books for me are about, entertainment. Oh my gosh. And there's we've had like a little injury happen, and I don't know. And I'm kind of really digging the documentary style of it in the other chapters. So, you know, I'm really enjoying it, and we're going to keep going. We'll see. Maybe this will be a case where I read the whole thing in one go today. Probably not, but who can say? So yeah, that's what we're reading. Currently on my way to go and take ballet class, and oh my gosh, can I complain for a second? My arm feels awful. Yesterday for the master class I was helping with, you can't, why am I pulling this up like you can see my pain? The master class was focused a lot on improvisation and lifting people. So at one point I was lifting this other girl, because we were teaching like students, and I don't know, I just feel like we did a certain lift way too many times, so now my left bicep hurts like a mother. But I don't know, it feels like I went to the gym and did a bunch of reps only on one side. Plus I'm left-handed, so anytime I like lift my arm to brush my teeth or like put moisturizer on my face, it hurts. So that's my complaint for the day. What's your complaint? What's your complaint today? Comment below. Thursdays that make you feel like you got hit by a Big Mac truck. But I have really exciting news on the bookish front because I have finished The Favorites. And I feel like I owe this author an apology because I didn't expect anything, but I really liked it. I give it 4 stars. So I'll be tallying up the pages at the end, of course. But basically I finished this. I could have finished it yesterday, but I dilly-dallied, which is a realistic part of the week. I don't do everything when I should. Do I like to watch reruns of Community and 30 Rock? The first season mainly. Yes, I do. So that's what happened for the majority of these nights. But I did really get into it yesterday, and I finished it this morning. And yeah, I really liked the story. It was just entertaining. And oh my gosh, the drama of it all. It's so dramatic in such a fun way. And it really makes me feel like I don't know anything about ice dancing, because this book is about ice dancing. Did you know that there's a thing called ice dancing? Me neither. Me neither. They're doing like foxtrots and Roombas and tangos. It was amazing. I want to become an ice dancer now. I want to switch my profession. Ballet, done. I can't even, okay, I've gone salsa dancing a handful of times, and I'm not going to say I'm bad at it because that would just be false humility. I know I'm okay at it, but I want to be better at it. And I could not fathom doing it on ice. So that was one thing. I just really liked learning about ice dancing. And I liked that it was in a different time period, and you get to follow the characters as they go from them in, I believe in the 90s, and then it goes to like the 20 teens maybe. It spans a lot. We have a lot of Olympics in this novel, and a lot of nationals and little tiny competitions, and a lot of drama, like I said, between the characters. They all frustrated me to no end. I was infuriated the entire time, especially towards the middle, like maybe the last third was so infuriating, because it's like these characters, Katerina and Heath, they're so, like, they trauma bonded for realsies in the beginning. When they're kids, you can tell that they have bonded together because they both had things happen in their lives. And like, that's cool. But then when you introduce other people into the mix, it's like, it gets a little dicey. And Heath as a character was giving very much so me as a child, where I thought you could only have one best friend. And I still think you can only have one best friend. So whenever I had a best friend and then they had other best friends, I was like, I guess you're not my best friend. I guess I'm not enough for you. And Heath is very much so doing that in this book. It was really tragic and inspiring and entertaining, like I said, dramatic, petty. Like the thing that these characters get up to, it's a good time. It's a good time. But I think you'll only like this if you liked watching, I'm going to say this, Ice Princess. Rest in peace, Michelle Trachtenberg. This is very much so Ice Princess. The only thing I'll say that I didn't like was that it got very, it felt like it was trying to take the tone of a mystery thriller, and then it didn't. So I was like, wait, what? It became very thriller at the end. But yeah, other than that, I really liked it. So I read, this is about 430 something pages, 34 pages. Yeah, that's pretty realistic for a week in my reading life, because sometimes I'll be feeling nothing, and then out of the blue, I'll pick up a book and read it the next day, and I'm like, that was good. So, read that. I've also been reading a little bit of Divergent. I think I've gotten to, I'm on page 97, so we'll see if I continue reading this tonight. I don't think I will, because I don't feel like it, but I do think I might read. I randomly had the inkling to pick up The Ministry of Time, because I really just want to finish the video idea I have on the back burner, because that was supposed to be out for this video. So yeah, I continued reading The Ministry of Time. I'm on page 149, and nothing has really happened. We're getting a little bit more of the, like, spy-ness of this book, which, you know what? I didn't even know this was a spy novel until I read the back of the book. And I just don't really read the backs of books, or the flaps, really, in general. But this book is supposed to be like if the time traveler's wife had an affair with a gentleman in Moscow. Now, you'd think I'd like this because I loved the time traveler's wife. In fact, I have the time traveler's wife. Where is she? Love this book. This is a hot take. People don't like the time traveler's wife. People also don't like the time traveler's wife, the movie. You know me? I like both. I think they're both amazing pieces of work, literature, film, cinema. And I love Rachel McAdams. What can I say? So, yeah, right now, what's happening in this book? Right now, I should know this. I just finished reading this between rehearsal and teaching. It's about these expatriates, people from other areas of time. It's like where in the world is where in time is Carmen Sandiego? But these people from different points of history are yoinked from those time periods and put into this program where they try to put them and what's the word? Acclimate them to our time period. And so that has to do with like teaching them that certain things they thought were wrong, and you know, the sicknesses they had then are not the same as the ones we have now. And it's supposed to be a romance and a spy novel, like sci-fi. And I'm not getting most of that, so we'll see. We'll see if I continue this. Who knows? I've read a couple pages today. Woo. And that's the update. Check you tomorrow. Alrighty, it is now Sunday, so it is the last day of what I realistically read in a week. And I have done terrible jobs keeping track of how much I've been reading, and I haven't updated every single day, but that's okay. Also, don't look at this. I'm doing a little like oil treatment, so my hair looks greasy as all get out, but it's okay. We love a snappe look sometimes. But in regards to the week and what I read, I thought I would just debrief. And today is not over, but I don't think I'm going to be reading much more for today because, you know, I'm pretty tuckered out, and that's realistic. Realism for me is reading a lot in one spurt and then just not really reading for the rest of the time, and that's okay. It's also March 2nd today, so now we're moving on to the March reads and March hopefuls, and oh my gosh, you guys, Sunrise on the Reaping is coming out on the 15th, I believe, and Finlay Donovan Digs Her Own Grave is coming out on the 4th, so it's coming out in 2 days, and I can't wait. I should not be buying books, but is that going to stop me? No. This just means that we need to manifest, and by manifest, I mean pray. We need to pray. We need to pray for a sponsor. I'm just kidding. Not about the prayer. Also, oh my gosh, so much is happening. This is just going to be a chatty Cathy ending to the video. Lent starts on Wednesday. It's Ash Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. So, got to figure out when I'm going to give up for Lent. So that'll be fun and very difficult for the next 40 days after that. I usually give up alcohol, which is pretty easy for me, honestly, because I can't drink very much anyway. And also, it makes my face bloaty, so I really do need to start doing that. What was I saying? Oh, so basically what happened this week is I read, I started and finished The Favorites by Layne Fargo, and this was surprising. I really enjoyed it, and I did not think I would, but I did. So Might need to pick up some more of Layne's work. Does she have anything else? What does she... Oh, she has They Never Learn and Temper. So might need to pick them up soon. Yeah, just loved it. It was just so dramatic. Great. Loved. 4 stars. And then I also finished The Ministry of Time. I can't remember where I left off in November, so I'll figure that out and put it on the screen at some point. So got to, and that's pretty realistic for me, honestly, picking up a book that I previously put down and then jumping right back into it, because I don't like to restart things if I can help it. So I didn't, and I finished it. I put on Goodreads, I finished it February 28th, but I really finished it on the 1st of March, but don't tell anybody. Between us. Keep it between us. Thank you. Really did not like this book. And I think it was mostly because it was a hyped book. I also featured this book and reading it in my last reading challenge that I put up. So I will put that right over there. The next book that I started and finished was a reread, and it was Divergent by Miss Veronica Roth. And I have a question for anybody who knows this. Oh, this bookmark shouldn't be in there. I finished it. I have a question. Is Veronica Roth some sort of religious person? Like, I feel like she's probably Mormon. Is Veronica Roth Mormon? I want to know, because putting aside the actual plot of this book, which is, it's fine. I actually feel like this plot is weak. I just like the way Veronica writes. And I really liked our main character. I like the romance. But putting all of that aside, there are lots of mentions of like fearing only God, which, you know what? I really do. I believe in that. I co-sign that statement. There's nothing you should fear except for God. And so there's stuff like that. And there's a moment where Tris talks about how she's like encased in water, and she talks about the last time that happened was when she was basically baptized. And I'm like, I don't remember all of these, I guess, Christian principles in this book when I was 16, because this is when it came out in 2012 and I was 16 when I read it, I think. So yeah, I don't remember all of that, but I like it. I mean, as a person who is a professing Christian, I really enjoyed it. So I can understand where you wouldn't like it if you don't like religion in general. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Rereading things really does make you see a lot more, especially if you have years in between when you first read it and then the next time. Not that this is the first reread I've done. I've done a bunch of rereads, but it's been a long time since then. So yeah, it just makes you see things that you missed beforehand, and then you also connect things from the end of the book series to the beginning. You're like, oh, that's where they were planting the seeds. And I just thought it was interesting that Veronica Roth wrote in a little bit of Christianity. Although I don't know, like I said, is she Mormon or is she Christian? Because I feel like those are very different. No shade to the Mormons. I don't know about y'all. I don't know. And then the last book that I started, did not finish because I was not going for that. Like, that wasn't the goal. It wasn't the goal. Was Bleak House by Charles Dickens. And I think I got to I only got 130-ish pages in, which is not bad. My goal was not to finish this week. I'm going to try and tackle this one a little bit more next week, probably. I'm glad that I started it because I'm like, okay, I can read this. It feels digestible. It feels funny. And there's going to be some nice quotations in here. And the character, I like the characters a lot. So I will see. I'm not like hooked, but I do want to see what happens next. So yeah, that's what I have read in a week as a person who doesn't have a traditional job. Like, I don't have a 9-to-5, but I don't do booktube for a living, so I can't devote all of my time to it. I kind of just read as a hobby, and I share it with the internet. And I'm becoming less scared of the internet, so that's great. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope that you liked the video, and follow me on Instagram if you like. I'm trying to post more bookish stuff there. Like this video, subscribe if you want more content, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will probably be some sort of a wrap up for February. So yeah, thanks for watching. Mwah, 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 mwah. Did that ick you out? I'm sorry if it did. Bye. Drink up, baby. Look at the stars. I'll kiss you again. Between the bars where I'm seeing you there, with your hands in the air, waiting to finally be caught. Drink up one more time and I'll make you mine. Keep you apart, safe in my heart, separate from the rest, where I like you the best, and keep the things you forgot. You don't want around anymore, that push and shove and don't bend to your will. I'll keep them still.